And what follows? My hope from the breasts of my mother. On you have I been cast from the womb. From my mother's belly you are my God, for there is no helper. Many calves have compassed me, fat bulls have beset me round. They opened their mouth upon me as a ravening and a roaring lion. All my bones are poured out and dispersed like water. My heart has become like wax melting in the midst of my belly. My strength has become dry like a potsherd, and my tongue has cleaved to my throat. Foretold what would come to pass, for the statement, my hope from the breasts of my mother, is thus explained. As soon as he was born in Bethlehem, as I previously remarked, King Herod, having learned from the Arabian Magi about him, made a plot to put him to death, and by God's command Joseph took him with Mary and departed into Egypt. For the Father had decreed that he whom he had begotten should be put to death, but not before he had grown to manhood, and proclaimed the word which proceeded from him. But if any of you say to us, could not God rather have put Herod to death? I return answer by anticipation. Could not God have cut off in the beginning the serpent, so that he exists not, rather than have said, and I will put enmity between him and the woman, and between his seed and her seed? Could he not have at once created a multitude of men? But yet, since he knew that it would be good, he created both angels and men free to do that which is righteous, and he appointed periods of time during which he knew it would be good for them to have the exercise of free will. And because he likewise knew it would be good, he made general and particular judgments, each one's freedom of will, however, being guarded. Hence Scripture says the following, at the destruction of the tower, and division and alteration of tongues. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they have begun to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them of all which they have attempted to do. And the statement, my strength has become dry like a potsherd, and my tongue has cleaved to my throat, was also a prophecy of what would be done by him according to the Father's will. For the power of his strong word, by which he always confuted the Pharisees and scribes, and, in short, all your nation's teachers that questioned him, had a cessation like a plentiful and strong spring, the waters of which have been turned off, when he kept silence, and chose to return no answer to anyone in the presence of Pilate, as has been declared in the memoirs of his apostles, in order that what is recorded by Isaiah might have efficacious fruit, where it is written, the Lord gives me a tongue, that I may know when I ought to speak. Again, when he said, you are my God, be not far from me. He taught that all men ought to hope in God who created all things, and seek salvation and help from him alone, and not suppose, as the rest of men do, that salvation can be obtained by birth, or wealth, or strength, or wisdom. And such have ever been your practices. At one time you made a calf, and always you have shown yourselves ungrateful, murderers of the righteous, and proud of your descent. For if the Son of God evidently states that he can be saved, neither because he is a son, nor because he is strong or wise, but that without God he cannot be saved, even though he be sinless, as Isaiah declares in words to the effect that even in regard to his very language, he committed no sin, for he committed no iniquity or guile with his mouth. How do you or others who expect to be saved without this hope suppose that you are not deceiving yourselves?